Did you know you can learn a lot about songwriting from rocks? I have a lot of rocks in my house. I have four kids, and one of my sons in particular loves to collect rocks. We have little rock collections all over our house, in his bedroom, in our laundry room. He comes home every day with rocks in his pocket that a lot of times end up in the washing machine. But what I love about my son and his rock collecting habit, as annoying as it is to pull rocks out of the laundry machine, is that he's taking the time to notice things that are small. He's treasuring them and seeing them as unique little ideas. My name's Erin Michelle. You can call me the Song Guru, and today's lesson is all about taking notice of little tiny everyday things to build your rock collection of songwriting ideas. Living life as a songwriter means keeping your eyes open all the time and engaging with the world as a songwriter. I'd highly recommend this book, The Art of Noticing by Rob Walker. If you're looking to find ways to notice the world around you, this is a great resource. I was just thumbing through it a minute ago and opened to this quote by Michelle Dean, which said, "Paying attention is the only thing that guarantees insight." So that's my question to you as we start to build our rock collection. Are you paying attention, and how do we pay attention? If just pay attention doesn't seem helpful enough to you, I'm going to show you an activity called object writing to help you take notice of little everyday things and make that a regular part of your songwriting routine. If you've been writing songs for a while, you're probably familiar with object writing, but even if you've done object writing before, stick with me for our playtime activity today. I'm going to take you through an object write step by step and give you some guidelines for the best way to do it so that you get creative song ideas from your object writing. You need just a couple things to get started with object writing. You need something to write with. You could type on your computer. I actually prefer journaling, pen on paper. There's just something about writing with my hand that feels really nice to me. But you do whatever works for you. You just need a way to get words down. The second thing you need is some sort of a timer. I learned this tip from Pat Pattison that when you do object writing, you really need to use a timer. For my students, I often suggest a 3-minute, a 5-minute, or 10-minute timer at the most, depending on how energized you feel that day. If we don't use a timer, sometimes we'll get super inspired and write too long, and tomorrow you might not want to do object writing again. If timing ourselves keeps us honest to make this a more regular, hopefully daily routine for our songwriting life. On the flip side, it also puts a little pressure on us to have some speed. When we force ourselves to dig deeper, faster, we start making songwriting connections quicker. And that's what I want for you. Easier ways to find songwriting ideas. Okay, so you've got your way to write, you've got your timer. The last thing you need is an object. So we're going to do an object write together on a rock. If you have a rock that's near you right now, go and grab it. Or you can use my rock if that's easier. All right, so we've done step 1 through 3. Something to write with, set a timer, pick an object, and step 4 is when we actually do the object write. What is object writing? I haven't even told you that yet. Basically, object writing is free association journaling. It's getting words down on the page without stopping to edit, without overthinking it, and diving deep into wherever your mind is going. There's really no way to do object writing wrong, with one exception. I will encourage you not to just make a list of words that you think of. This isn't really a helpful way to object write. So if we're object writing about rock, I don't want you to make a list that says hard, cold, small. What I want you to do instead is to engage this object with all your senses. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What would it taste like if you licked it? What does it sound like if it falls on the ground? Other ways you can engage with the object are seeing if the object reminds you of a specific memory, and you can put yourself within that memory and again, explore that memory through your senses. The thing you can do with object writing is personify the object. You can say to yourself, if I was this rock, what would I say? How would I feel? How would I interact with the world? But that's just the starting point. You might start here with the rock and what it feels like and what it sounds like, and then that might think you of that one time you got that rock stuck up your nose while you were visiting your grandmother while she worked at the bank. Real story. And then you start journaling about that. You let your mind go wherever your mind wants to go, no matter how weird or wonderful or wild it is. You go where your mind is going. You're not trying to be clever or write song lyrics. You're just writing down what's coming out of your mind. And if you get stuck, you get too far out there and you go blank, go back to the object and start again. After your timer has rung, the last step is really important. You need to process your object right. And so this means looking back and reading over everything that you wrote down and saving ideas that are worth saving. Circle combinations of words that you find interesting. Were there any big emotional thoughts, maybe title ideas, lyric ideas? Did any of the words that you wrote down sing to you? Do they inspire a melody in you? Processing your object right is really important for building your rock collection. In the next video, I'll show you how to save and organize these rocks you're putting into your rock collection. But for now, I hope you'll make object writing a regular rhythm. If you do it a little bit, just for a few minutes every single day, before long, you're going to build up an arsenal of ideas that you're going to have so many ideas, you're not going to know what to do with all of them. If you want to write songs about your life, about the things you love, or even about rocks, I can help you with that. I'm Erin Michelle, the Song Guru, and I'll see you next time. The Song Guru.